Hello, beautiful souls. It's Teresa Coutman, and it is 9/17/2025, and it is 6:58 a.m. So, let's get right into it today. And it's Wednesday. It has been a very difficult week, and this day is Wednesday. It's the start of my week. I did a week summary, a review last night, and that is on Rumble, recording of the live. So every day I'll be on Rumble Live with the overview, an update on the energy. So my channel will report. So this is Teresa Coutman with the Woo Report, and I will be live on Rumble. I'm deciding what time. It was 4:20 yesterday, 4:20-ish. Today I'll try to make the 4:20, and we'll see how that works out, if that time is good. I am going to be doing some other things, so we'll see if that works out. Okay, so here is yesterday's chart, what we're finishing up for today. And it'll be till 10 a.m. We'll get an update on the rest of this right here. The rest of this energy. There's been two things that I haven't seen before, and I haven't seen it explained on the Schumann resonance chart, so I'm going to have to go do some digging and find out what these things are. So we have two of them. We had one yesterday about 1 p.m. and we had one at 4 p.m. yesterday. So that's interesting. I don't know if there's storms over in Russia causing these, and what actually is this. Seems like the one was stronger yesterday at 1 p.m. and today at 4 p.m. or yesterday at 4 p.m. That was that. And this is the chart right now on the website is till 11, so we can see what happened to 11. So when you go to bed, I don't know what time I went to bed, around in here. Here, 9 o'clock. So it wasn't as bad as the day before. On this day, it was all this. On the 16th, I had a lot of this integration pattern, and then before that, on the 15th, you had all this. It just looks like a bunch of woven trying to get tighter and tighter, a weave. And it doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. So with that, that energy review, we can go through with the guidance too. So this guidance that I gave yesterday before 10 a.m., that's how this works. So this is finishing up this energy right here. So I give the guidance. The guidance is from 10 a.m. in the morning, which hasn't occurred yet, of course. It's only 7 o'clock here, 7:02 Pacific time. So my guidance goes for the future day, which starts at 10 a.m. in line with this Schumann chart, so I can get an idea how the tarot readings, how the collective is reacting to the energies. I don't know if it's like getting loosey-goosey. Yes, it is getting loosey-goosey. So, yeah, just trying to be a little scientific in this. And so far, I was really surprised about on the 10th, the morning of the 10th. I think it's about 19 minutes in where I talk about the spread, having the major arcanas. And we'll see if the 10th has anything from the 10th from 10 a.m. to the 11th at 10 a.m. if anything significant was going to happen for the collective. And it did. There was a a political assassination on a college campus in the United States of America. So many people are going to be drawing a line. Let's see where you are. A lot of people don't get the fact that the line is, for me, the Constitution of the United States of America. Your right to free speech, your right to have moderate opinions without somebody killing you. You can ratchet it up and call it hate speech, but it was not. This man was not a hateful person. Watch all the videos. It might just get you a little bit closer to God. I'm not sure. But people use rhetoric now as a weapon and lies as a weapon. So we have to be very careful not to do those things. To actually, Mr. Stephen King, go out and listen to clips of what was actually said. Listen to Mr. Kirk in context. Many people were heartbroken over that. I'm heartbroken that this happened in America, and that this could be anybody who has those beliefs. We are that demonized and that dehumanized. And that has to stop too. The dehumanizing of people that you don't agree with. And you can't win an election, so you want them dead. I don't know what is up with some people, so that's just that. So let's get into this. So, and go listen to that, because that's really informative to me, and it encouraged me to keep going. That there is, the woo is real. I call it the woo, intuition, and all those things. So the woo is real. So here we go with this. We're going to finish out this energy by 10 a.m. today. And that's what I'll talk about when I go live on Rumble. I'll talk about the finishing of this energy. And the guidance yesterday was a spark of new beginnings. The vibration was the 5 of Wands, conflict, scattered energy. The challenge was the 9 of Wands, resilience under pressure. And the outcome was acceleration, events moving quickly. And the hidden was the Page of Cups, innocence and compassion beneath the noise. And then, excuse me, the Clarifiers were interesting. They were, to me, when they're both major arcana, it's like, this is important to keep this in mind, no matter what happens, that we can leap into the new, but do it with perspective, not just rush into, your first thoughts of change or what am I going to do. The collective should not do that without perspective, but we are looking at new things, and that challenges some people who don't want change unless it's exactly their way. I don't know. I just don't get it. I am just very pleased with this energy that we're going to be going forward. And I love the Ace of Wands ignition card with this keyhole here. And from the Dream Keeper's Tarot. So that's a really cool card. So yesterday was about ignition. A new spark was lit, but it was immediately stirred conflict and competition. The challenge was to endure, to stay resilient, while the outcome showed acceleration, things moving fast. Beneath the chaos, the Page of Cups reminded us to keep soft and hearts open. The Fool and Hangman together told us the new cycle is here, but wisdom and perspective must guide the leap. So that was that. And let's go into today's. We can turn that off. Turn that off. Put this on. And this is the guidance for 10 a.m. today, 9/17, to 10 a.m. 9/18. So this is the new guidance cards. So we have the fates in the foundation, at the root. That destiny unfolding again. Many people may feel that today, that destiny is unfolding. Let's have this feeling, this root chakra where our security is. Deep, deep feelings and emotions in that chakra, in that area. So destiny is the foundation today. The fates remind us that some forces are beyond our control. Cycles, karmic timing, and divine orchestration. What unfolds now is less about pushing our will and more about aligning with the flow. And then the current vibration is the Knight of Pentacles. I love him. The collective atmosphere feels steady, diligent, and grounded. This Knight works slowly, carefully, and responsibly. In contrast to yesterday's rapid Eight of Wands, today's energy asks us to honor slow, deliberate effort. And the challenge is the Death card. We had 2 major arcanas today. Excuse me. Not 3, like on the 10th's guidance. The guidance from the 10th, 10 a.m. to the 10th, to the 11th, 10 a.m. The day of Mr. Kirk's death. We had 3 major arcanas. Fates was one of them in the outcome. The sun was our challenge on that day. And the foundation was the moon. So this one, have had a lot of major arcana. 2 was in the clarifying yesterday, and 1 is in the clarifying today, and 2 in the spread. So we're in very fateful times, I believe, very important times. So with the death, our challenge today, transformation is a sticking point. The Death card demands endings. What's going to end today? What's having a problem ending in the collective? What mindsets? Am I a fascist, racist, bigot, I don't know, homophobe, blah, 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 blah? And my leaders that I elected, my leaders that are effective and deserve recognition for their work, Mr. Kirk, do we deserve assassination? Is that some kind of, should we demand an ending to that in our culture? That behavior, and then celebrating, like Hezbollah? Is that good behavior? Will that further America's stance, foundation? No. To me, it shattered so many things. And that's what people have to realize, that this new beginning for me is I come to realization, God is first, then my country. I used to think family was first. But if you're against the Constitution of the United States of America and you are going to dance over somebody's death for political reasons and then call for more, and I'm the person you're calling for their death, I could easily be Charlie Kirk's grandmother, people calling for her death, his whole line's death, because of something they judged. And there's many protests and stuff where people were at Charlie Kirk's protests and didn't even know why they were there. Can't tell you why they are protesting. They just are filled with hate over things. Things didn't go their way. The election didn't go their way. I'm not really sure deep down psychologically what is the problem, but we obviously have some radicalized people in our culture. And so the death reminds us about endings, transitions, and release. We need to let things die that aren't working for yourself, aren't working for your families, and aren't working for your country, and can lead to further violence and further destruction of your life other people's lives and the life of the country. I know some people want that, want the total destruction of the United States of America. And that's why I draw the line. That's not what I want. I do want things to be fixed. The Federal Reserve Act, 17th Amendment, 13th Amendment, they need to be fixed. Our states need the power back. We need the Department of Education back in our states, not the federal government running our schools. Anyway, because now they're all bad. Before it was just some, now they're all. Anyway, so the challenge is to surrender to the inevitability, it's inevitable, of change. Fighting it only prolongs the discomfort. So fighting what the populace collective wants is just going to create a struggle for people in the collective who want to go against what the people want. It's just that simple. And I think that this is a good reading. I'm sure I have people that will want me dead for that, saying that. Okay, anyway. So the outcome is more, yes, more of this conflict surfacing again, echoing September 16th vibration. So competition, this was a card yesterday too, and it's been a card. Yesterday I sat there and I shuffled for I don't know how long, just as a meditative practice, not even thinking about it, but it was quite a while thinking and shuffling and trying to get a read on the current vibration. So at the Five of Wands, I'm sorry, on the outcome. The Five of Wands, the hidden card is the Five of Cups. So we're on the Five of Wands, the hidden card, the outcome card. Oh my gosh. Please, let my mind work. I don't want chemo brain to last forever. So it's going to be a year in October since my chemotherapy, my operation for my stage 3, almost stage 4 colon cancer. So quite serious. And I'm quite serious about wanting to, leave feeling that this country is in a better place than when I left, when it started. So anyway, the outcome is the Five of Wands. Conflict surfaces again, and echoing yesterday's vibration. Competition, scattered energy, or collective restlessness may emerge as people struggle with endings or resist destiny's unfolding. This destiny unfolding is happening, and things that are in the works, I believe, with these major arcanas happening now, ever since Charlie Kirk's death on that day. Go listen to the reading. It was the 10th. I did it before I went to the doctor, so it wasn't a very long one. Lucky you if you go back and listen. Chatty grandma. Yeah, so it's a very good reading. And to me, this destiny started there with that reading. So go take a listen. In my Rumble live feed yesterday, I took the clip and I showed it. I should make the clip just separate and pin it until some other bigger tarot reading comes up. That was a really good tarot reading. I didn't know how to interpret it. I also had a dream that I didn't know how to interpret that is really interesting about, because in the dream, I was in a college campus looking for things and going through these things, had combat boots on, got into the wrong area, and I said, I don't belong here. And then when I was in the classroom, I looked down and saw some kind of a city, some kind of architectural stuff on foam board, but it seemed like melted, like really low level, flat. And then the teacher was talking about some kind of bad event, some kind of maybe terror event or something of that nature. And I looked at the person next to me and I said, I did it. And I don't know why, when I wrote that, wrote my dream down the next day, I don't know why I said that. That is something that wasn't me. But after I said it and she started going insane, screaming, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Oh my God, oh my God. Then I thought, oh my gosh, in the dream I thought, how am I going to explain this to the teacher? Why the hell did I say that? I didn't do it. Why did I say that? So that was interesting, especially when I have to figure out the date. I've been holding on to the dream, trying to get a movie to it. Today I might just say, okay, these are AI clips that I tried to create. And it doesn't really fit, but, here's the dream. So it really, really is, I believe, prophetic dream. And I do operate in the prophetic. So I do have, I believe, church gifts. That's gifts for the collective. And dreams, speaking in tongues, speaking with spirit. Interpretation of tongues, which is not the greatest of gifts, not appreciated by leadership, if they even let you operate. And there's only one time that I felt like when God talks and it's correction, it's scary to me. Like, I don't want to hear that part of your voice, God. And I do believe that he mainly talks and will not blame, but leadership has a big responsibility. So with that, yeah, pray for my healing, please. Forgive me for abusing my body with cigarettes. I did. I smoked. And forgive all those people creating these. And then when I was younger, people said, oh yeah, it doesn't cause cancer. Doctors approve, all those things and then smokers kept wanting to believe that it's not that bad for you. And it could be. Some people say it's the smoke from the car's exhaust, and that could be. Because a lot of people get cancer that don't even smoke, but they do breathe air. I was around secondhand smoke too. My mom smoked like a chimney. Okay, so the outcome today, people are going to be struggling with endings or resist destinies unfolding. So there's going to be some about that. And I still have some of that in my mind too, because I did also share in one of the live, not yesterday, but the day before, I think my first live stream, I broke down and cried about what's happening in my own family. Someone who thinks they're trans. They are being radicalized on Discord servers. And were lonely and isolated during COVID. I was working and I don't think he got enough attention from my estranged spouse. So, yeah, it's a bad situation. Being an older parent, he's my youngest and far, I have 40-year-olds and then he's a 19-year-old. I didn't do the greatest job and he went through my, I had a horrible, menopausal period. It wasn't like physical, it was like emotional. I felt like a teenager in my emotional states. They were just uneven, and I should have got help with from a natural doctor or something with natural ways to, control this. I'm really getting more and more untrustworthy of our medical institutions. Especially with some of them coming out and saying that they were, they thought it was a good thing that Charlie Kirk was awful and he deserved to die. I just can't believe that medical people would say that. And a lot of them on TikTok said that they wouldn't want to help us. They wouldn't want to help Donald Trump if he was in hospice. I mean, oh my gosh. This is drawing a line. But the line should be for all of us. No matter where you are, if you don't have that basic foundation of the Constitution, that's the thing, that the line that cannot be drawn, you cannot cross this line. So when you say you want to change it, that's crossing the line. You want it to be a positive charter so you can do anything you want to it. It's already been mucked with too much with the 17th Amendment and the 13th Amendment. And now the Federal Reserve Act can go away because it's just an act of the Congress not wanting to do their job and allowing bankers to do it. To me, it was treason then, and still we're going along with it. We don't have any kind of value to our currency, and it gets less and less valuable all the time with the inflation and how they're spending. So there's a problem with that, not being backed by gold or silver. So we have lots of problems, but overall, that's the best document the West has ever had for governance, for governing ourselves. But we have to be self-governing, and we have to be a moral people or it won't work. As you can see, the Constitution will not work for people who are immoral, who steal, who break the commandments, who are openly in rebellion against God and natural law. It's that simple. You have to behave in a moral fashion, or it's not good enough. So if it's not good enough, then, and I think it's shown it's not good enough for some communities because of lack of discipline and moral character, and instilling that in children. We need families, we need strong families, we need fathers, we need mothers who can spend the time and love on their children more. So there's things that with that too, with women, that I have issues with. So when women stay home and take care of the children, they are not earning any Social Security credits. So when they get older, they will be in poverty if their husbands decide to leave them or they separate from their husbands. Those are not shared equally as marital community property. And they should be. If you raise children with somebody, anything earned should be shared, the credits. And maybe even you get extra credits for having a family, because the government does need to put in place programs that encourage people to have children, moms to stay home or dads to stay home. Somebody please be with these children and love these children. So there's that. About the women issue. So I'm not saying everything's perfect. I'm not going to burn the flag. I might, fly it upside down, because I don't think our government is being fully run by our elected officials. There's secret backroom, like JFK talked about, the deep state, behind the scenes. So that's CIA, all these other, ABC agencies that aren't working for our best interest. So this hidden card is the 5 of Cups, and grief, loss, regret, or disappointment colors the day. So that's a hard one. So those things are dying too, and you realize, oh, that can't go on. How's it going to work for me where I'm at now? We have to think about things like that. And I know what that's about, right? Regret. Time flies. Whether you're having fun or not. Whether you're having fun or not, time flies. So, beneath it all, grief, loss, regret, or disappointment colors the day. Yet like always with this card, not all is lost. 2 cups still stand, but the collective eye may linger on what has spilled. We still have our Constitution. We still have some semblance of law and order in most places. There are some places that are in open rebellion against the federal law and being sanctuary cities and not imprisoning criminals. So I don't know why that they catch and release criminals. Maybe it's an overburdened system. We can't afford to hold these people. So we're going to have to say, how can we create a system where these people actually get rehabilitated and not putting petty criminals in with, because petty criminals still need to know there's a consequence, but not putting them in with hardened criminals. That's just wrong. It's just like, they'll just be taught by these people to be better criminals probably. I don't know if there's any repentance happening in prisons. I have no idea. I started to work in a prison ministry before I got pregnant with my son, my one youngest son that's 19 now. But I did not continue with that ministry. Being an older mom and having a child was my main focus. And I do have a lot of regrets, and I don't feel like I've done the greatest job. And now he's claiming rapid dysphoria at 19. And wants to be a woman. But he wants to be a woman, and his girlfriend, he is also transitioning. So let me get this. You want to transition and live with this other male who's transitioning. You're both going to transition to be lesbians. Make it make sense to me, please. Make it make sense. It doesn't. So anyway, I do believe these men are just lonely and they want connection, and this is the only way they feel like they can get it. So our social order and male and female identities and how they're coming together isn't working, whatever's happening with the internet and these echo chambers. And radicalization is happening to our males. So we have to, really pray about that. Think about that. What are the solutions? It's tough right now. And pray for our leaders. Pray for Trump. Because it's tough for us to wrap our heads around this. How are we going to stop this? So with that, we have the Clarifier, which is the Page of Pentacles from the Crow Tarot. A new beginning is germinating. That was like yesterday's also. Yeah, the ignition. It is coming. It's going to be new things. It's a new day for many people. Eyes wide open to where we're at. That's what we have to be. So the Page of Pentacles encourages us to study, learn, and focus on the practical. So that's interesting. In the midst of ending, seeds of renewal are already taking root. And Clarifier 2 is the Hermit. Solitude and reflection are needed. The Hermit reminds us to step back, seek inner wisdom, and integrate what destiny is teaching. I wonder if any will. Or if lies just will keep being spewed about Charlie Kirk. Go watch. Watch what he said in his own words. It's all posted. He's very kind. Very humble, very modest, very moderate. Now, if people think he was some far extremist, then I must be Hitler himself. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Not true, not true, not true. So we got destiny unfolding with the fates. Slow, steady, diligent effort with the Knight of Pentacles. Endings and transformation for some. Conflict and resistance to change for many. With the hidden Five of Cups, grief and regret amongst the collective. And we have to regret not stopping this sooner, not knowing that this was going on, being asleep, all those things. New seeds sprouting, inner wisdom needed. So yeah, really a good read. This is how I feel tarot cards are, is they're not telling us anything new usually. Now with the 10th, when that was just telling us, hey, something's up. Take notice. Something's going to happen today. So I'm not sure the fates in the foundation. I think that's just how we feel. Like this changed many of us. This event was a change of our fates, change of the tides, how we're going to think and how we're going to go forward. And I don't think it's necessarily kinder and gentler, but it's not kind to allow communities to self-destruct and criminals to run cities. And homelessness, not doing anything about it while collecting millions, and allowing people to die of overdoses on your streets. We have to do something to prevent these atrocious happenings. It is really, really sad how many people are dying from overdoses. Okay, so yesterday lit the match. Today we see what must burn away. Conflict repeats, but seeds of renewal are in the soil. The collective is moving from ignition and endings to integration. So I have the weekly, which is the Three of Pentacles. We're working together. That's what we're going to need. Effort, discipline, and craftsmanship. The Knight and the Page of Pentacles work directly to echo this theme. The way forward is consistent, humble work. Lesson of the month. So I didn't really write down what... So let me just bring this to the top. Order to top. Okay, so this was the monthly draw. So I'm going to write out like I did these ones here. Foundation, outcome. And this one too. Maybe I should do it before next month and then I'll just be ready. So we have the theme was the Eight of Pentacles, effort, discipline, and craftsmanship. The Knight and Page of Pentacles today echo this theme. The way forward is consistent, humble work. Lesson, the Hanged Woman. This was the lesson, the second card here for September. Perspective and surrender. The Death Challenge mirrors this perfectly. We must let go and see the new. The challenge for the month of September was the Nine of Swords. Anxiety is hidden in today's Five of Cups. Grief, fear of loss can cloud clarity. So it's the fear of missing out kind of card. If we ruminate on those things, it can cloud our clarity. And the gift was the Page of Pentacles for September. Reappears today as Clarifier with a different card, a different deck. Small practical beginnings are the gift within endings. Outcome was the Queen of Cups. And that emotional mastery remains the month's trajectory. So today's grief, Five of Cups, is part of the path towards compassion. Emotional mastery. We must master our emotions. We cannot act on them. And especially if you're not, mature enough to listen to everything in context, listen to all voices and debates, not just people you think are telling you the truth, because they are not on many occasions. So we have to find that out for ourselves, and that's up to us. That's on us. You can't just go to protests and say, I'm just here for my community. I don't know what, I can't answer any of your questions about why I think this or feel this. It's just because they said to do this. And they said they're Nazis. And they said they are fascist. And they said this. And they said he said hateful words. And they say he's a hateful, awful person. Because he's a godly person, because he believes in the Bible, because he believes in civil debate, because they said all those things, and because you believed all those things, you're okay and celebrate his death and want to cause some kind of civil rebellion that will turn countries into El Salvador. Well, they're getting better now, but turn them into Venezuela, who I didn't realize used to be up right below us in their GDP. Now look at them. They took over the radio stations. They took over this. They took over that and ran it into the ground. Do we want that? No, I don't want that. These people, for their overthrow, who are they going to put in charge? Who's going to end up dead because of this? Anybody who believes in the Second Amendment deserves to be shot because innocent children were sitting in a gun-free zone setting ducks. There are ways to protect our children, and it's not to take everybody's guns away. But I believe that's an agenda point of some. And some who want the demise of the United States of America and the Constitution, and that is not what I want. I don't know about you, but that is not what I want. So, the hidden forces, Seven of Swords, for the month, self-deception or avoidance may amplify the Five of Wands conflict. The Hermit asks us to look inward for truth instead of playing games. So the Hermit today says look for the truth. Quiet down and seek the truth. Clarifier, Nine of Cups. Fulfillment remains possible if we align with destiny instead of resisting it. So we need to align with destiny instead of resisting it. What is the destiny of the United States of America? Is it to be handed over to people who want to make up any rules as they go? That is, I don't know, some people call it suicidal empathy, but it's just using people's weakness and this victim mentality to allow behavior to continue when that's not right. Bad behavior is bad behavior, no matter what adversities you have had. Everybody has some kind of adversity. Most have. Some have far more privilege, I agree. Having a two-parent family with parents that love each other, big privilege. So, but that's what we need more of, just to create those basic things that can give children security. We need homes. We need affordable housing. We could have had a whole different outcome after the 2008 financial crisis. Instead, we allowed them to take over more of our housing and the hedge funds to let China invest in our housing. It just doesn't make sense to me. And some of these things just need to stop. Because we don't need rules for, these. We do need civil laws, but we have them on the books. For hate, nothing like all that kind of stuff. Violence against anybody. But what we really need is rules for who can be involved in our housing markets. Can banks have just, been horrible. Horrible criminals, but nothing happens. They're too crooked, too corrupt to fail. Same with some of our industry. Like GM got into the remix. That's what their big problem was. They were into the corruption. So, and the Schumann resonance anchor for the month was the Knight of Swords. It's not present today, but the conflict and the sharpness of the Five of Wands echo it it carry its echo. Vast, jagged energy disrupting the field. And it was funny that, the day after, the 10th on the 11th, the Knight of Swords, I read it in the Dream Keeper's Tarot this day, and it reminded me much of where Charlie Kirk was in his growth. And he would have been better and better. He was being mentored because of his effectiveness. So he was starting to get attention from people and being mentored. He could have been the next president. Not the next president, but on his way. He was a rising star in our party. And just think he was some average person. He was not. Some just average Joe. Who cares about him? He was just, poking at college students. No. He was more than that. And we should make it known he was more than that. I hope people do, but it's hard, to think when you're in such grief. And more so for me, I do feel bad that a person lost their life. Of course, who wouldn't? I guess some wouldn't. But it was a blow to the Constitution. But it did wake us up to the fact that there's a whole bunch of people who want the death of the Constitution and the death of the Second Amendment, the death of free speech. If you can deem it, somehow twist it in your mind to be hate speech. It's really sad. So we have planetary things happening. We have an air Trine Kite that is active to the 21st, from September 16th to the 21st. Mercury opposing Saturn, Neptune, forces truth to surface. So this is like a sad time for some people who weren't aligned with any of the truth, weren't aligned with the collective and where we're going and the things that we want. There's a minority that seems to think that they're a victim of everybody else, but it's a very small minority, and the collective is moving forward to help all people. I don't care if you're male, female, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Satanist. If you live in this country, rules and things happening and needed are for all of us as Americans. I'm American first. So, America First Party, can you agree to that? I can. I can make America great again. It's okay. And Trump has a following, not because we're brainwashed cultists, it's because he does action. Promises made, promises kept. Many things he can say that about. While other candidates promise things like no vaccine mandates, yet do the total opposite. And you must remember these candidates. Remember these presidents' bad decisions not to follow your will. Remember, have they done anything for you lately? They could have codified Roe v. Wade. They could have had a whole different outcome for the foreclosure. Did they? For the foreclosures in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Anyway, it forces truth to surface. Illusions unravel. This is death plus hermit energy. Collective awakening requires endings and deep reflection. So we have to realize there's a lot of people in pain right now. Some, for some reasons, they have to let go of this mindset that, in this political narrative, that is not helpful to anybody. It's just breeding hate, destruction, murder, and death. And it will do that to the whole country. Do we want that? Do you want that? That's what I'm asking. That's what these cards are asking. And we have to go through this period and have compassion on others going through this, because we're going through our own thing, and have compassion for us too, for just all of a sudden, okay, we're out of the woodwork. we're activated. We're eyes wide open. That's kind of how it's going to be for a lot of people. But some people, they have to rub their eyes right now and say, I'm lost. What's happening? I've been there. Probably everybody's been there. And it's, maybe a phase in life. So this, I think, these youthful actions that are taking place have been allowed to happen. Lawlessness have been allowed. So it may not be fair to now say, no, now you can't do that. There are consequences to your actions, and there must be, if we're going to live in a civil society together. And I wish communities could police themselves, but I don't know how to make that happen. You can't change people's hearts and how they live day to day. So there's that. And we're also in the Eclipse Corridor. We're moving closer to the Virgo solar eclipse on September 21st. The Fates root card mirrors this eclipse intensity. Okay, so we're coming to a very intense period with this eclipse. Destiny doors are opening, but only what's aligned can pass through. That was about like the keyhole portal and all that stuff with the lunar eclipse. So that's still, the energy is still in action, that these things must die. These parts of us that don't align with good collective living. We have to get to a point where that's all that we need, right? We need to focus on what we have in common, not what we all want. Not little bickers that the government shouldn't even probably be deciding anyway, the federal government. It's state government actions. That's why I believe if the 17th Amendment were erased and our legislatures appointed senators, they weren't there by popular vote, we might get better outcomes. There'd be better bickering, but actually that's what the founders wanted. Better bickering amongst better, higher ranking people. Senators should be the best of our state, appointed by our legislature. And it's easier for us to go demonstrate at our capitals than it is for the feds to listen to us. They're like, oh, bye-bye, hi. So some of those things have impact and have impacted our whole system. And people warned of these things. So this amendment was created, it's kind of funny, for a temporary problem. The westward movement in Oregon, a new state, and they couldn't appoint senators. So they come up with this, that they're all elected by money forces. Even then, people knew money would get people elected. Not the best from our states being appointed. And then holding our state reps accountable at our local, our state governments accountable, our state legislatures accountable for who they put there. And if their actions were so bad, our senators could be fired by them. Boom, boom, bada bing. Conduct unbecoming to a senator, not in line with what the people want, they could be fired. So now you just have a shit show. I'm sorry. So what you have. Okay, so we're in that eclipse corridor where all these things are coming off and it's painful. And I have some too. We're all going through it. The collective is going through it. What outdated forms must die so new foundations can be built? We're at a new place. I want to do something new. Have we ever undone any of these amendments? Let's do something new. Let's undo the Federal Reserve Act. Let's put into place, or let's have a parallel system where we have the collective currency backed by silver. We'll have a silver dollar. It'll just say backed by silver. Dun, 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 dun. You choose. Do you want the banker's dollar? The Federal Reserve dollar is nothing federal. It's a bunch of bankers, world people. Do you want them coining our money and spending our money? You see what they've done. You see the corruption. So, but the feds like it. The federal government likes it because they get to have a lot of this money flowing into them. Families. Somebody that's just a senator they can become a millionaire and their whole family too. That just shouldn't be happening. Sure, they're probably going to be wealthy, that person, but not their whole family. Unless they are doing inside trading and some other effed up shit. So anyway, so today's guidance, today is about destiny, endings and integration. The fates and death together remind us cycles are shifting, and that's always tough on the collective, whether we're ready or not. Ready or not, things are happening. We're being kind of like pushed, well, maybe guided. Gently. I think the universe is for us, gently trying to do these things. Now, if you're like a Charlie Kirk and you put your faith in God, your faith in your fate, and whatever God's will is, it may be something like this that will change people's hearts and change the country. And that's what I believe has happened. The blood of an innocent martyr has a lot of power. And that is somebody they probably should not have killed for hate speech. Should not have, because he was not hateful. And being as innocent as he was, I believe he was like a far better Christian than me, a far better person than me. I could not remain that calm, cool, and collected with the debates he was in. I just could not. So, yeah, he had his fate too. And I do believe he'd still say, yeah, it's worth it. The Second Amendment freedom is worth it. I say that too. Should I be killed? Okay, so today, the daily affirmation is, I surrender to destiny's flow. Surrender to the collective. We are going down a river. Do you want to come? Or do you want to stand on the banks and call us horrible, horrible names, dance on the graves of people killed for nothing more than judgment of others that isn't true? Do you want to be there on that bank, or do you want to go with the flow? I do not want to be on that bank. You can just choose not to be on that bank and just sip it, see how the flow is going. But I think you'd have more fun coming in the river, going with the flow. Happier place. God has so many good things for us, for our country, for the world. I do believe that maybe New Earth is a movement, that we can decide to go there anytime we want. But we don't. And I think that, some of the revelation that is talked about in the Bible is going to show us we could have had it all. Everything's here for us. All the healing is in the trees and the leaves and all the medicine we need. We probably could live forever just on knowledge if we just learned what our bodies need and focus on health and wealth of our citizenry and around the world. I'm not thinking just America needs this. The whole world wants the same thing we all do. So I surrender to destiny's flow. I release what must end. Honor my grief. Yeah, honor it. It was there for a purpose. It was a learning lesson. And ground myself in steady effort. New seeds are already taking root, and wisdom lights my path. So I hope that is what we can take from today and just go forward. forward in light, wisdom, and with the flow of what God wants for us. I appreciate anybody who listened, and I will talk to you later. 420 on Rumble Live, the Woo Report. Talk to you soon. Bye.